Hello guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to show you my Diluc build and basically the weapon, the best weapon, artifacts and also stats that you want to focus on your Diluc to maximize the damage, and also a little bit of team comp. That the for what I think at least is the best team comp to run on Diluc. So let's get into the video. But before that, let's roll the intro. All right, so let's go and see how is my Diluc going to perform against the Cryo Flower. So let's see this one.
Everybody stand back! Absorption test. Shaken and stirred. Can't handle your drink.
Verdict is...
That was definitely a crit, but let's try one more time.
Teamwork is dreamwork. Absorption test. Can't handle your drink.
Verdict is...
So as you guys can see, I almost one-shot, the boss or the Cryo Flower. How did I achieve that number? If you guys notice, there are two heroes that I use specifically for this particular showcase, and that is Bennett and Deona. So for those of you, for those of you who has been playing the game or have been playing the game for quite a while, definitely you would know, what Bennett's ultimate does. Is basically like a big boost, to all party that is within the circle. And basically, it's basically why Bennett is one of the best 4 stars out there. But a lot of players, especially for those Pyro main, a lot of players actually neglect one particular hero, and that is Deona, right? So there are specifics for you to be able to really utilize Deona, and I will explain later, right? But first, let's take a look at my Diluc first. So as you guys can see, I'm actually using Wolf's Gravestone. It's R2. I'm quite lucky to get 2 copies of Wolf's Gravestone during the Staff of Homa banner. It was pretty much, kind of like for free, because a lot of players are getting Wolf's Gravestone compared to Staff of Homa. So the difference is not really a lot. It's only like about 10% or 20%, increase from the original stat. And obviously, the main thing about Wolf's Gravestone is really the attack percentage that it gives you. So if you guys are, a Claymore main or Diluc main, definitely Wolf's Gravestone would be the best in slot. You can also opt to use the free-to-play weapon, which is the Prototype Archaic. Um, Although it gives you the same pretty much substat, but you guys can see the difference in terms of the attack percentage that it gives you. So definitely, if you happen to have Wolf's Gravestone, that would be the best in slot. All right, and when it comes to my artifacts, definitely it's something that I'm quite proud of, because previously, when I was still running the free-to-play weapon, I wasn't really happy with the output or the damage that you know, uh, I'm getting from the look, right? But because I do have good substat in terms of my artifact, definitely I'm able to sort of like compensate for that. So let's take a little bit of a closer look to my artifacts. So for my flower, this is the one that I'm running. I'm just switching between the two. mainly because this one definitely has a lot more crit damage, but this one has a little bit higher crit rate. So for Diluc, you obviously want a decent crit rate. So since I have 2 attack and also crit damage and crit rate, I'm pretty much good with this one, right? For my feather, this is a pretty good one. 31% crit damage, and just a very little percentage of crit rate, but that's fine. 12% defense and some energy recharge, right? And for my sands, I'm running this one. Sometimes I would just switch between the two, but definitely this one has a crit rate, so I prefer this one. Pyro Damage. This is the one that I showed in my other video. If you guys haven't seen that one, check it out. It's on my channel. I just found this yesterday. And basically, when I saw this, I was like, whoa, this is probably the best artifact that I have. Especially, it's a set piece, and at the same time, it's a pyro goblet. And look at the substat. It's literally the most or the best artifact that you can find for a main DPS pyro unit, right? It's just amazing. And of course, my off piece would be my circlet, which is crit damage. I don't really have a very good crit damage circlet for that I can equip for Diluc. I do have some, but they don't really have a good crit chance or crit rate, right? I want the crit rate for at least 10% crit rate for my circlet, so it will be usable for me. And let me explain why. Because I'm using a weapon which is giving me attack, I don't really have like what Staff of Homa does that gives you crit damage. So this one is definitely gonna go, everything is gonna go to your attack. So you still wanna be able to maintain that good crit rate and crit damage ratio, at least 50%, preferably 60%, crit rate, right? So let's take a look at the stat that I have. So I managed to get 56.5 critical rate, and that's why you guys can see the numbers. It's quite consistent in terms of the crit rate, and crit damage is pretty decent. It's actually pretty good. If you are already at around AR 55 to 56, definitely you want to be able to make sure that your main DPS has at least 200% or at least 190 crit damage for that huge number, if you like seeing huge number. And of course, decent energy recharge. For Diluc, you also want a decent energy recharge so that you can keep your ultimate up every time. And of course, 61% pyro damage because of the goblet that I have. Unfortunately for this one, I actually do have a C1 Diluc, mainly because when I was pulling for Venti, I was on 50-50, and I managed to get another copy of Diluc. But the damage is not really, I mean, the difference is really not that big. I mean, it's quite big, but it's not really a deal breaker, like a game changer that, like, compared to like a C6 Child or C6 Diluc and stuff like that. Definitely, if you look into his C6, it's totally, like a crazy boost in the look, and he's totally like a totally different unit, right? So for my talents, definitely I crowned his elemental burst because I like seeing big numbers, and at the same time, Deluxe elemental burst doesn't only hit once; it actually hits multiple times. If you guys can see here, there are multiple multipliers. The first hit would be 367, and at the same time there will be following damages after that, right? So yeah, that's pretty much my Diluc build. 2,800 attack, pretty good. But the reason why it's like this is because I do have a Bennett in my
Guess we can
party.
rest a bit.
So that gives for the elemental resonance. It also gives a little bit of boost. I think about 25%. So let's get into my Leona, right? For the Luke main, or even if you're a Hutao main, you definitely want to make sure that you do have Diona. If you're lucky to get C6 Diona, it's the best combo, or the best party to have basically. Why is because number one, Diona is a cryo, and as you guys can see, or if you guys know, cryo and pyro is probably the best or second best combo out there for melt, right? Another one is vaporize. For melt, definitely if you have Chongyun, Chongyun would be good. Rosaria would be good as well. But the reason why I prefer Dayona is number one, I do have a shield. I do have a shielder, a healer, at the same time. And if you guys are lucky to have C6 Dayona, this is something that is a game changer for me. Basically, if you have C6 Diona, while you are in the circle, while you are healing, it basically gives you 200, basically it gives you, what I call this, an elemental, I'm sorry, basically it gives you elemental mastery while you are in the circle and while you are healing. So basically, it says here on the second bullet, elemental mastery increased by 200 when HP is above 50%. So if you are fighting an enemy and basically you use the Iona's ult while using the shield and makes your HP go up to 50%, it gives you 200 additional elemental mastery. And if you guys have seen the other video that I had, that I posted a couple of days ago, elemental mastery is actually a big contributor in terms of your elemental damage, because it actually amplifies your elemental burst or skill, right? So let's take a look at this. Let me give you an example. So if you guys can see here, my Diluc has 37 elemental mastery, right? But then when I use my Leona's ult and I go to Diluc, which has more than 50% HP, look at my elemental mastery. Elemental mastery is 237, and if we go back to what elemental mastery does, it's basically giving me 40.3 additional melt damage and vaporize as well. But if I go out of the circle, oh, I still have the effect. Okay, now the effect is gone. Let's go back here. So it's basically it basically says that I only have 7.2% additional bonus for melt and vaporize, which is a big difference. So not only that, the melt itself is already an OP reaction, but at the same time, elemental mastery actually helps to boost that particular elemental reaction. So you want to keep that in mind. This is the kind of like gameplay for late game. For early gamers, probably you wouldn't. I mean, elemental mastery wouldn't really matter that much. But if you're in the end game, I'm already AR 56. So that is actually something that you have to keep in mind. And mainly the reason why I'm using Diona for my Diluc is because I know that I only have 37 elemental mastery, and I need that extra elemental mastery to really see that boost in my damage. So yeah, there you go. That's basically just some showcase and also some guides for you guys to look into in terms of building your character and also your support character. Please let me know if you like this video. Please leave a like and also consider subscribing to my channel so that I can keep uploading this kind of videos. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.